Give it to me.
Hey, give me that. Oh, shit. You too. Get out of here.
Tony, we also need more coaxing. What does that smell? What kind of animal smokes marijuana at his own confirmation?
I don't know.
Enough with you, I don't know.
What are you yelling at me for? Even Grandma says the world has no purpose.
Get inside right now and join your guests. Be a good Catholic for 15 fucking minutes. Is that so much to ask?
Ahoy, tent pirates, plant parents, conscious consumers, and the morbidly curious. Welcome to Cultivation Conversation, a podcast for growers, by growers. Come chat with our hosts, Captain Autoflower, the Real Green Monster, and myself, Girl Go Grow. Grab a bouquet of your favorite flowers, apparatus of choice, and don't forget the fire while I tell you about the special companies that help keep this ship afloat. We're busy people, and we demand the best for our plants, so all three of us automate our grows with autopots. Available in over 63 countries, gravity-powered autopot systems rely on no pumps, no timers, and no power to operate. This plant-driven automated watering is so precise, it will reduce consumption of feed while increasing yield. An effective and efficient way to delegate a little responsibility. Let your plants feed themselves. Use code CC10 at autopot-usa.com. If quality is the name of your game, look no further than AC Infinity. AC Infinity's grow tents, lights, accessories, and ventilation systems offer reliability and affordability along with total environmental control. Use code CULTIVATION on acinfinity.com to save even more. Frass Valley produces the highest quality superworm frass. Naturally strengthen your plants and enhance their resistance to pests and disease. Use code CC10 at frassvalley.com. We are big fans of mass hydroponics. Whether you're a local in Massachusetts or accessing their full online catalog, they are your one-stop shop for all of your growing needs. Use code CC10 at mass-hydro.com.
What is going on, everybody out there in podcast land? How are you?
Oh. Hello, my darlings.
Welcome back. Welcome, everyone, and welcome to our guest, Paul from Multiverse Beans.
Hi.
Thanks for being here, dude.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, no problem. We're like I had mentioned to you, a community-based show for growers by growers. You know, we like to kind of guide people in the confusing landscape of cannabis cultivation.
It is very confusing. That is for sure.
Absolutely, man. One of the more confusing parts too is just like, where do I buy my beans from? Hear it all the time.
Oh man, is that like the first problem, right?
I hear they got fire on wish.com. No? You guys never heard that?
You wish they were beans.
I've actually heard of people buying, you can buy cannabis seeds on wish.com.
Can you?
They can't be good.
No, they can't. But people buy them because dude, you see it all the time in this. Like people will want to do everything as cheaply as possible, and weed is weed, man. Like I hear that one a lot. Genetics don't matter. And then they learn the hard way that they do.
No, they certainly do, and I'm sure Paul will tell us all about it too. But first I got to ask you, man, as is tradition, are you a partaker yourself?
Oh, of course. I kind of felt you have to be in this industry.
You know, hey, you don't have to be. We're finding that out more and more.
Yeah.
But so the question then is, what are you smoking on tonight?
I haven't had anything in a while, but earlier I was smoking on fish scale. And hey, Clay, what's the name of that stuff you smoked earlier? What was the name of your strain? A pineapple wowie. Had some pineapple wowie.
Ooh,
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
is that bred by someone in house that you got there, or
I think he
a
got it
friend?
from a dispensary or from a friend, and then the fish scale I got from a friend as well.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So, are you a grower as well?
Yeah, I have grown before. I've grown a few times. I think maybe 4 times max. I got really obsessed with it really quickly, and
We
That
all.
happens.
yeah. Well, I became like Tony Stark. I like obsessed with it and just just put all my free time into it, and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. I've always been an artist, and so expressing myself through the plant was something that was different to me because I've never grown before. But it was really fun. I wish I could have grown now. The city that we're in is an ordinance where you can't, and I'm not trying to have my
Mm,
business get in trouble with just growing it when I can just wait and whenever I get to a better spot to a city that's got better laws than that, then I can. But yeah, I do grow. I still consider myself a grower despite not having to grow in a few years. To me, it's honestly kind of part of my identity. So I am a grower. Yeah.
cool, man. Oh, it's like you're like getting high on your own supply a little bit, like dipping into your reserve of beans, just like, oh, what am I gonna pop next?
Yeah. It's funny you actually mentioned that because we started Multiverse Genetics. I had the official drop date of this past Friday. It was our company's 3rd year anniversary, and then we came out with our podcast too on that date. So just
Oh,
one
cool.
April 13th, just one date to remember for everything. So any big projects that's going to come out next year is going to be on April 13th. And so we're looking. You got to start with seeds from somewhere. And so I was just going through all of my seeds that I have, and I was like, "This is good. This is good. I love this. This is great." And so I'm just pulling stuff off the shelf, and I have a pretty big personal collection as well. It's kind of what got me into this mess that I have now. Uh, when I when I first started, I didn't have a lot of extra money. I was actually out of work, and so I would trade a lot. I would trade seeds, for other seeds, and just barter whenever I could of trading something. And so at the end, before I switched over to buying it to resell it I guess as my career, I had about 1,000 seeds in my personal collection of just people that I just collected
Wow.
over the years. And
Wow.
um, yeah, I was just like, this is like I don't know, like I still kind of I do consider all these seeds that my personal collection of seeds. 'Cause it's kind of cool to have. I probably have like the biggest seed collection in the world of anyone. So
That's
it's pretty
funny
neat.
to hear you say that, man. It's because honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm living in a damn seed bank over here, like with the
Yeah.
way my seed collecting addiction is, and a lot of people, it happens,
They're fun. I got started collecting Pokemon cards, and uh, I've always just been a collector, and so kind of grew out of Pokemon. So I think that it's cool, but I just
Yeah,
became less interested in it, and then I'm like, weed. What the fuck is this? This is the shit.
you got to catch them all. But now we're talking about rare genetics.
Yeah, yeah, and just yeah. I mean, there's always something new coming out, so that's really cool. There's a lot of crossover between trading card games and uh, cannabis, I guess seeds or collections, whatever. There's actually been a few guys that do they do like kind of like seeds or cards with their seeds, which I think is always really cool. There's one guy that we just added. His name's Blue. I think it's Blue Star Seed Company. He's got like it reminds me of like those old school baseball cards, and it looks really slick.
Nice. It's really cool, man. All right, but I got to just pause real quick because we're going to go around the circle and ask everyone what they're smoking on too. It's just a little tradition.
Yeah.
Mm.
How about you,
Monster.
G3?
Oh,
Oh,
I was gonna let
Monster.
Monster go first.
How about you,
Look at
buddy?
him before he falls asleep.
Whoa,
Can't hear
you're muted. Hold on. Oh shit! Did I have you on mute the whole time?
Maybe. I'm really big, so I probably didn't notice. But anyway, we already know what G3 is smoking anyway.
No, I'm
No,
not.
you got something different tonight?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I'm smoking on some Prayer Glue by Mass Medical Strand.
Hell yeah. That's Deadly or Prayer. I'm sorry. Gorilla Glue and Prayer Tower.
Correct.
Nice. Are you like that, Paul, where you just like know genetics and lineage now? Where you're just like, oh, that strain, I know exactly what that is.
My memory is really weird. There's some that I do and some that I don't. It's mostly if I hear like a stray name, I can tell you like who has it. If we carry them, if they're outside of my bubble, then I don't really keep up with it too much because I don't have like space for them. And then the parents, like I have no idea. We have like probably 3,000 strains, and if I had that burden of knowledge, then my head would explode.
Yeah, right. All right. I don't wish that on you. Definitely not.
Don't wish that on nobody.
That's too much.
Yeah. So what do you got, G3? What's different tonight? Not mango
smile. Yep.
What is it?
I like literally walked in the door from work at 8:47 tonight, and I've been up since 5 a.m. So I'm wiped. So I really needed some major terpinolene. So I have this sugar sap live resin. I got from the dispensary, and it's awesome, actually. Like I might just ramble your ears off all night. So it's great.
Cool.
Super high terpinolene, like 2.4%. So I'm a happy girl right now.
Nice.
That's awesome. So you're doing a little dabbing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's a special occasion.
Yes. The G3 needs to stay awake special occasion.
So what'd you get, a half gram or a gram of live
gram.
rosin? Well, so I'm just guessing, if I know PA medical prices, that's an $80 gram.
A little less than that.
A little less, all right.
That's not bad for
That's
live, like
not bad.
at a dispo.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it's not something I can, like, I have more flour than I know what to do with. I just dropped 4 plants, so I don't have any problem there. But extracts are just, it doesn't fit into my life right now. It's really hard for me to do and find time for and prep everything. It's just, nah. So I'd rather just delegate that to somebody else. So thank you to my local dispensary.
I hear that. Well, very cool. Very cool. I myself am enjoying some West Coast Sour from 2020 Mendocino, which, like, you know, all good strains, it is what the name says it is. This is overwhelmingly sour. I mean, not like any specific citrus aroma. It's more of like a hard to explain. Like a wild...
Is it like sour mix? Like what you put in a liquor?
I would say it's more of like a rind of maybe a lemon rind in there. It has like a
zest or
high
the
note.
pith?
Yeah, the zest.
Hmm.
A little bit of pith, but like it's more of like has an ammonia note to it. You know what I mean? Sour and like
key lemons.
Yeah. It has a really high note. That's all it's the only way I can really describe this.
Okay.
And it carries through on the flavor, which is cool. So, props to 2020, which you guys definitely carry, right?
Yeah. 2020 is great. Adam does really insane large scale breeding projects.
Yep.
I think he's told me before they do around like 200,000 plants. They send out seeds to farms and they hunt through them and find the winners of it. He just won first place at, I think, the American Auto Flower Cannabis Cup or something. I don't know. Some event he won first at, which I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, it's really cool to see him get some, get some kind of recognition. I kind of feel like that he kind of doesn't, the company doesn't really get enough credit for having good stuff. I think that more people should try them out. Specifically, I don't know if they have it anymore or not. I think we still may have some of the vitamins. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, it's THC to CBD, and those have always given me the best highs before. I love adding in CBD flour to my regular high THC flour.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, you get the that full spectrum effect.
Yeah.
Entourage.
Yeah, entourage. Agreed. And yeah, I agree that like 2020 underappreciated, kind of slept on brand.
Oh yeah, and they're not a fly by night. They've been around fucking forever.
Amen.
You know?
Great autos, and this one's a photo period, but that kind of, so like you mentioned, large scale breeding projects, and like that's easy enough for like you, a seed bank owner, to be like, oh, here's a guy who's sifting through like 10,000 plants in a field in Michigan to find the winners. Like I definitely want to bring his seeds in. How do you differentiate then, like between a professional like this and just like there's a lot of amateurs too, a lot of guys who don't have that kind of space that like you also carry and feature and give like a shot to, like which I love. So how do you, like, what's your recruiting process, I guess, is my question.
Yeah. So I get on the phone with every single breeder that we bring on, and I talk to him personally, and I think the shortest phone call I've ever had has been about 45 minutes. I'm kind of looking and seeing kind of why they're doing it, see if I can get a sense of really the person to see how easy they're going to be to work with, why they're in it for, why they're doing this, and just kind of fill them out and to see if I think that would be a good fit together. I've learned over the past 3 years now that can be some, I guess, maybe red flags to look out for if they come up early on in a conversation. Just certain things that are said or reasons behind things or inability to do certain things. So kind of just weed people out and see if their actions matches their words. Because talk is cheap and walking is actually expensive. And
Mm-hmm.
but then so as far as the process goes, I kind of just start, I guess, from the front and then work the way back. So when I first started Multiverse Beans, I was pretty much only into auto flowers. I have grown photo periods before, but autos I just thought were cool because they're supercharged. And I'm really fast paced and aggressive myself. And so that's kind of resonated with me, with being fast paced and aggressive. And so my goal was to set out and I wanted to be the best auto flower seed bank in the world. And so I had the people that I had like my Harlem Globetrotter list of people that I want to have on for me. It's like Rotbud Inc., Night Owl, Mephisto, Wicked Pisha, Magic, Ronan, and then a bunch of other guys that I was really into back in the day before I got to work with them. And so I made my Avengers team and just put everyone together. And through getting to know people in the industry, I would come across new people that were into cannabis. They were passionate about it. That's the main thing I look for. Is someone passionate about cannabis, or is it just a job for them? Like, are they like a corporate Chad where they're just trying to make money from it, or are they actually like down for the plant and about the cause for it? To me, cannabis is about helping people live their best lives, whether that be through their mental health, through expressing themselves as an artist, which is also tied back to mental health. So ultimately, it really comes down to helping people with their mental health. And so if I kind of get wind of someone's not really into that, then I just don't really want to do business with them, honestly. Like I'm fortunate now to where I'm lucky enough where I can select who I want to do business with. And,
Yeah, you can be picky.
I can be picky. Yeah. And so, we're always looking for new talent that's just fun, easy to work with. Like I've met a lot of really cool people in this industry. I've met some people that aren't so cool, but that's okay if I still got to meet them and learn to listen from them. And there's nothing wrong with not being cool. It's just not, some of our values just didn't align. And so some of the things just didn't work out well. And so more specifically,
I feel like sometimes you can learn more about the people you want to work with by finding out the people you don't want to work with.
Yeah. I was watching a video about that earlier today, and it was basically saying that for like every person, it's like every customer is a pain in the ass. They're basically causing you to lose two good customers. And then I was like, that's actually fair. And instantly I had some scenarios come to mind for me being a customer, dealing with business owners or dealing with customers over the years of me just working. There are pain in the ass people out there, and sometimes they're not worth the squeeze.
Man, we say that all the time. The juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I kind of want to just back up too, and I want to mention that like I was probably one of your first customers. I have to say, like way back when it was probably 3 years ago
Mhm.
that like I remember looking for a seed bank that was into autoflowers and like carried, like you said, the Avengers team. I wanted to buy some night owls, I wanted to buy some Mephistos, and I wanted to buy some rock buds all in one place and not have to pay 3 shipping costs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like there you were posting on IG about it, and yeah, I gave you a shot. Like I remember getting the beans like very quickly with a handwritten note, stickers, freebies, and I was sold. You know what I mean? Like it's just customer service goes a long way. It's the little things like that, and yeah, I've made several orders since then because, like I said, I am a bean junkie. Have a serious problem. So yeah, thank you to you for doing what you do. But yeah, where the hell were we in our how do you bring in certain breeders conversation?
Just
I
so
think you pretty much wrapped it up.
yeah, I mean,
Back to the
I can
beginning.
go into more detail if you want, but yeah,
No.
I can talk
Yeah,
for
you-
forever about whatever.
You pretty much answered that one as well as you can. Maybe you could just give us like a
Start at the beginning.
Yeah,
I want to
dude.
know, like, where did the idea come from? You just like looked around and you were like, I just want to put all these autoflowers in one place. And you
Yeah,
just thought,
so
hey, I'll just be a seed bank. And then what
Yeah.
was your first step?
yeah, good question. So this is I'll try to tell as much of this story that I haven't told to anyone before. So one of my friends, she started a seed bank herself, and uh, I was still collecting seeds, and I saw that she was kind of doing it, and she was being successful and everything. And I don't know if she was paying her bills with it at the time, but I know that it was helping supplement her income. And at the time, I was actually working for they were like the top three of the top 500 Fortune companies or something. I had like a super corporate job, and honestly, I wanted to kill myself working there. It was soul crushing. I was just a number. It sucked, and uh, I just didn't want to live. Like it was just an absolute just shit job, and I didn't feel like I made a difference at all with anyone. And I felt that when I did make a difference, that no one appreciated it because I just it was just one of those jobs. And so she was being successful with hers, and I was married before, and my ex-wife actually ended up leaving me. And so I had a choice to make. And she was a breadwinner, and I knew that I couldn't sustain myself at that job that I was at. And so she's a nurse, and so she was the primary breadwinner. And it was just a call center job, so it wasn't a ton of money with it. And so my choices were either to be homeless or to make this work. And so I chose to make this work. And I worked probably 14 no, this was at the beginning. So I would work 12 hours straight, sleep for 4, wake up and work 12, and then sleep for 4, and then I'd rotate in that cycle. I did that for probably about 6 to 9 months straight, and then I hired someone and got on a better schedule. I remember there was this one night owl drop, and I remember over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I worked 60 hours total. Over 3 days I worked 60 hours. Yeah.
So, like, I mean, you're obviously organizing like your collection and doing inventory, right?
Mhm.
Like keeping track of what's what, how much of each strain you have. Yeah, like, can you bring us through that? How do you bring in a massive drop like that? What's the whole process? Oh,
To start with,
there you are.
give me
There we
one
go.
second. Sorry. Someone's calling me, but it doesn't show who's calling me. There we go. Okay. I'm just kidding. It's still going. There we go.
No worries, no
Sorry.
worries. It's all good.
It's kind of orders. It's really no different than doing small ones. It's just at a larger scale. So as long as you have a good system in place, kind of like growing or really anything in life, If you have a good system in place, it's going to make it really super easy and simple because you have something that you've put thought into and you can replicate it every single time. And hopefully, if it doesn't work out, then you learn from that mistake and then you can adjust your procedures to do it and then make it smaller. So we place the order from the breeder. We either pay them or have some kind of payment terms with them. It's shipped to us. We open it up, just lay it out on the table. We make sure that we received everything from them. Just it's all human done. And I don't think anyone in the industry is a Jeff Bezos, so we don't have robot money to pack packages for us. And so we just make sure we got everything. Once we have everything, we start putting it up, and then then we update it on the website, and then we market it to the people to let them know that we have it, communicate with them, and that's pretty much the dumbed down version of, or the less boring version of what we do.
So many questions off that. It's just like, all right, so how do you determine, like, do you buy all the strains from a certain breeder or just certain ones? You know what I mean? Like the ones you know are going to move. And then it's like, how many do you bring in, and do you prepay for
good
that?
job today.
Like you basically, he sounds like a great boss. So yeah, you basically like prepay, or you said like work out some sort of payment terms with the breeders. So they'll ship you like, you know, a big quantity of their seed drop, you know? Yeah, like what can the other payment terms be? Just like or like do you just cash up front, and like what happens then if the seeds don't move? Do you
Oh my
pay
God,
them
Kat,
back?
you just asked him 6
I know,
questions.
I'm sorry.
Let the man answer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go back to how do you choose what to order?
Thank you, G3, keeping me in line.
Yeah, so how to choose what to order. So it's really a case by case basis. There's some breeders, and it also depends on the payment terms that we do too. So I guess there's no set standard that we have for it, but if I probably simplified it more, there probably is. I just don't know what the pattern is. So generally speaking, we'll get all of the strains or some of the strains. Here lately, I've been more conservative because the economy is absolute trash for everybody right now. So people just aren't buying seeds or spending money like they used to. Myself included, I've really cut down on collecting seeds personally, and I've cut down on just spending money in general because the dollar's not going as far as it was. So I'll communicate with the breeder. They know the brand better than I ever will, and if they don't, then shame on them. So I was asking them, hey, what do you think is going to sell today? You know, what do you think is moving pretty good? And I'll kind of take the recommendation off of that. That really hasn't done us wrong so far. They know which ones are good.
Cool.
All they're straight. Well, which ones sell good? I don't want to say they probably, honestly, with today's advancement of cannabis seeds, there's not really such a thing as bad genetics out there anymore for people that are pretty mainstream, but there are ones that perform better than others do. So, you know, like Purple Punch by Fast Buds, you know, that's one of the best sellers that they have, as compared to like I don't know, AK-47 or something. That one a lot of people grow and enjoy, but just the Purple Punch, it just resonates better with people. The name, maybe the description, the color for sure. You know, just different things attract different people.
Very interesting. So yeah, maybe then you could shed some light on like the second part of that, right? Which is, let's say a seed doesn't move like it expected, like you guys thought it would.
Yeah.
Do you do like do breeders then buy them back from you? Or do you like offer a discount and maybe not buy as many from them next time? Like kind of what happens there?
Yeah, great question. So this actually has happened to us before, quite a bit, unfortunately. I was just probably dishonest, as overzealous, and just bought too much of their stuff. Some breeders will have minimum orders too. I understand the reason why breeders have minimum orders, but also kind of feel like some of the breeders like have that minimum order because they know their stuff's not going to sell, and they kind of view it as a paycheck. So there's that portion of it too. Luckily there's not a lot of those like that. I'm super fortunate. Practically every single breeder that we work with is super understanding and cool. We have that same thing happen before. I've had breeders before where I'm like, hey bro, like your stuff's just not moving. We're doing, you know, as best as we can on our end to market it, you know, like a reasonable amount, you know, to showcase you and everything. And we'll either ask them for maybe for some extra seeds to do a promotion. Some of the breeders will let us swap it out for some newer stuff that's doing well. We've had a few guys that they honestly just got upset about it. To be real, their ego has gotten away.
Gotcha.
And because I really specifically, there was one guy. I'm not going to say his name, but there was one guy that his stuff wasn't selling because he didn't have pictures or spray descriptions, and I was asking him for a fairly long time to get it, and he could never get it for whatever reason. And so I was like, "Hey, bro, like I really like you as a person. I consider you a friend. Like I think that you're a phenomenal grower, but like I don't feel comfortable paying money up front for your seeds when I already have X number of seed packs with you that's not moving." And he got upset by that and took it personally, and basically quit communicating with me about it. So I still have his stuff sitting on the shelf now, but we got it marked down on discount, and so it's actually selling pretty fast now. Um, so that's happened before. Some guys, like I said, we've traded them out with stuff before. Some other stuff we'll kind of like bundle other people's seeds with them to kind of get them out of here. And it's not they're not bad seeds at all. They just don't have like. It's like trying to like you can't fucking bake a cake without having like all the ingredients with it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have like a fucking egg, it's not a cake. And a lot of breeders are phenomenal breeders. They are. I would venture to say every single breeder that I carry is a better breeder than I ever will be in my entire life. However, that is a different skill set than being able to run a business. And I'm not the best at running a business, but that's where I put all of my experience points is to learn the business side of it because I'm unfortunately can't do the growing side of it. I want to. One day I will start growing again, but right now I'm just learning as much about business as I possibly can. And so I try to, I guess, educate the other breeders in the community of kind of some of the things of like good practices to have. Like I really wish that there was like some kind of a standard for the breeders to have like the strain name, the breeder name, the pack size, the sex of the plant, and stuff like that. Like there needs to be some kind of uniformity because like there's some breeders it's just all over the place, and like they've got like the pack size on the back with the crosses on it and the names on the front. Some's got all of it on the front. And like I've dealt with this literally every single day for the past 3 years, and I could not imagine being like a beginner grower who has to like pick out seeds, and you're like, what the fuck is all this? Look at what like it's just like I said, there's just no uniformity, and so it's just really like it's confusing for me, and I own this business. I can't imagine how confusing it is for someone who's like, I always want to try cannabis, so I can finally not go to jail for it. Let's get some seeds, and you're just like, why is nothing the same?
Man.
Now,
so many
do
thoughts.
you ever take them on consignment? I mean,
yeah, we do.
That to me, that would seem like the best approach to, because that way they're like, hey, I'll take, what you want to send me, whatever sells, I'll pay you for, whatever doesn't, here you go. And that just seems like a much better way to do things, right? I mean, would it be fair to say that that's your preferred way to do business?
I wouldn't say it's my preferred way. I honestly prefer for us to pay cash up front so that we can just own it and then just sell it. For a little bit, it was our preferred way to do it that way, simply because it was less risk on our end. So everything comes down to risk assessments or a risk analysis of what you want to do. And at the end of the day, the business has to make money. Like I know that's going to offend some people, but it's true. I have people that have families that pay their bills with this. So like we have to make money. I have bills I have to pay, but we have to make money. And if we don't do that, then we can't help people get their medicine and get off of prescription drugs, which is what I like. One of the things that I'm super about is people are recently getting off of prescription drugs like opioids and stuff and use cannabis for pain management. And so we have to make money to be able to do that. So for a while, I was really gung-ho on doing consignment stuff. We had to. It kind of turned itself into a different job because we have to run reports of how much sold over a certain period of time, and it's a lot of back and forth. But it works out well because we take less risk than what they do for it because they send it to us. Consignment also has kind of an ugly term in the cannabis industry, specifically the seedbanks. A lot of I just heard from so many breeders like I've been ripped off before from doing consignment, and that's normally the first thing that I say is it's like I'll say this is some payment options that we can do. And they've gotten ripped off by people before for doing consignment, and I probably don't think a lot of them ripped off on purpose. They could have lost their processor, their bank account could have closed, their mom could have died, whatever could have happened. But at the end of the day, the person they trusted with their brand and with their products didn't get paid for it, and it doesn't really matter why because at the end of the day they're just let down. And so I understand why people are kind of against it for. Like I am as well, honestly, unless like I have like a rapport with someone or if I know I'm dealing with someone reputable. So consignment has its pros and cons. I think that more people should be open to consignment. I think that it would be probably better overall um, for them in general because we like the biggest issue is like for some brands the biggest issue is like keeping enough seeds on the shelf to sell them. So if I had basically like unlimited seeds of like let's just say 2020 because we were talking about them earlier. If I had unlimited seeds of 2020 stuff, that everyone would be able to get them a lot more because we wouldn't run out. But unfortunately, there's no way to predict what strains of who is going to sell hot or not. Like Rum Scotty by Romulan, we sold that out almost like a week before it dropped. Like, yeah, see, a day or two before it dropped. Yeah, and that way no one had any idea. Like I had a suspicion that it was going to do really, really good, but there was no guarantee with it. And so if there was some way to know which ones would sell out faster or not, then we would order like a ton of those.
I told you I have a serious problem.
So I don't know where mine are. I kept 3 for myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, dude, so like brings us back to like you were saying about the descriptions, like those seeds were sold before you got them in, essentially, by his skillful like marketing of the strain with the descriptions, the pictures. At least like you could tell he grew them or had other people that grew them, and they were like, documented, photographed. Here's what it's gonna do. Here's the morphology of it, the terps, all that stuff. He even had like lab reports and stuff. It's just like, some people go the extra 9 to really like, I don't know, educate the consumer and make you feel like they at least did their due diligence. And I love that.
It's reassuring to know that what you buy is going to be what you expect it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it kind of just brings it back to just what you choose to bring in and who you choose to work with. It's just, you got to be, unfortunately, you do have to be like a social media manager. Any small business owner today knows that, right? You also have to manage your social media presence. And like, dude, those seeds were sold before you got them in. So it's like, if you can do that, you got it made. And I think it all boils down to having grown what you produce and writing up an accurate strain description. It's as simple as that.
Most breeders that have their shit at banks, they'll post pictures like, okay, available here. A lot goes on has to be on their end as well. Like people aren't just going to know to go to a certain seed bank to find breeders' gear unless they've dealt with that bank before.
Like, if we take that Rom Scotty drop, for example, that was like timed, right?
So it
like went live at a certain time.
Yeah, it dropped the 12th officially, or it dropped the 12th officially, and then we started pre-selling it. I think like a week before. I talked to Jake on the phone about it, and he's like, "Yeah, you can pre-sell it. It's cool because we always try to do that whenever we can, just because it makes sense. And there's a limited amount, and I was pretty sure it was going to sell out. So I was like, if you want it, get it while you can because it's not going to last. And Jake does a great job. I actually base a lot of my genetics company around decisions that Jake's made for it. He's been really institutional. Just part of my growth, honestly, as a person or as a business owner, just from hearing some of the things that he does and says. And he's got, it's really rare in the industry. He's got a lot of integrity, and I really, really respect him for it.
Word. Well, at the very least, knows how to write a damn strain description.
Yeah, he
goes a long way.
Honestly, I would say that Jake, if you're trying to get into breeding and you want someone to look up to, Jake from Romulan Genetics is a really good guy to look at and to study. His business is super unique. He has about I think maybe 9 to 12 releases a year. He does one a month basically, and they're in a smaller amount. He keeps the quality where he wants it at. He doesn't scale up to where he loses control of the quality, and he gives out what he can. And He's got phenomenal pictures, great spray descriptions. He has all the pieces of the puzzle to be a successful person, and it's because that he's humble. He'll take criticism about stuff. He'll listen to others and get their opinion about it when needed, and you can tell that he was a collector before, because it's like, I'm not fucking buying something that I don't know anything about. And because I collected seeds and bought seeds before I got into this, I'm my target audience. It's mostly guys in this industry that are probably around my age that have extra disposable income. And so, there's small portions of younger people, females, etc. But the grand portion of it is very male dominated. And so, like, I'm just like, I wouldn't buy this. I don't know enough about it. Then I can be like, hey, bro, like, I really like your stuff. I think you're a good breeder, but like, no one's going to buy this because you didn't say shit about fucking with it. And there's no pictures, or you took pictures with a cell phone. Like, that's not going to cut it nowadays. Like back in the day when it was, super underground, it was like Calculator and like Exotic Mike and Soulfire and all those guys, whatever, it was like I guess the glory days back in the seeds before it got really, really mainstream. They still had pretty good stuff, but they still, didn't have what they have now. They've evolved as business owners. So it's just going the extra mile and caring, which he had a customer one time say that when he's on the fence about like getting some new genetics, he'll look at the packaging. And he said that if the breeder has nicer packaging, he's more likely to buy it because they put more effort and it seems like they care more about their products than someone who doesn't. And I was like, that is the truth.
Packaging goes a long way.
Certainly
Absolutely.
does.
Yeah.
It's so here's kind of where I look at it from. Like I work in the beer business. Craft breweries, and like we deal with a wholesaler who I would very much equate with like what you do. Like you're a seed wholesaler, and it's kind of the same operation, like it's like we don't give them all our beer, just the stuff we think will sell, and like ultimately it's on us to like get the beer sold. You know what I mean? Like they're just facilitating more sales by like having a wider reach, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's now you mentioned like do you do any marketing for people when you do a drop, like help them out?
Yeah, we do. There's maybe three trains of thought that I've read into over the past 3 years from working with breeders. Is the first train of thought is that the breeder and the seed bank should operate kind of separately, and the breeder should be responsible for their own brand growth and development, and the seed bank should be responsible for their own. But then we also should sell the seeds that the breeder has, and they're not really intertwined together. The other one is that the two entities, us two, can work together, and we can both benefit from helping market together. And then the other one is that it's kind of like an unfair division of labor, where like one person is marketing really heavy and the other one's not. So that's I guess the spectrum of it. Obviously, number two is going to be the best. Both people working together and trying to just sell the products. Honestly, for me personally, it is a bit discouraging to help someone's brand grow and then not kind of get any reciprocation back from it. Like, I'm not asking you to have like a full marketing campaign, but like if you could share a story that we put a pretty good amount of effort on Instagram, that'd be great.
I feel that. Doesn't
All right,
take
so
too
from
much.
seeds that earn the most, I want to ask about the other end of the spectrum. How do you choose your freebies?
How do I choose my freebies?
Hmm?
So the freebies, we have different freebies that we give out. So probably the ones that you're referring to are the ones that come with the orders, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So we call them bonus beans. The way that we choose them is we kind of changed it recently. It's a bit challenging to work within this industry. I'm certainly in it as well, so this also applies to me. I think that a lot of cannabis business owners have ADHD. In fact, most of them that I've spoken with probably have ADHD to a significant degree. I definitely have it, so that's for sure. And I think that a lot of us, everyone's got childhood trauma, and so with as far as your attachment style, you got your anxious people, and then you got your avoidant people, and I think that I just have interacted probably with more avoidant people in the industry in general. So trying to secure seeds to give away as bonus beans from people, dealing with people that have ADHD and that are avoidant of some issues can be extremely challenging. They're all great guys. It's nothing personal because like I do the same thing. Like I kind of shut down whenever something's like, going on in my life. I got to focus on this one thing, or like I swear to God, I meant to send the email. I sent the email in my head 10 times already, but I haven't sent it one time in person because this is how my brain works. And so, with that being said, when I first started, I needed some seeds and I hit up Atlas. And I didn't really know who Atlas was. It was Atlas Seed. I didn't really know who they were at all. I knew that I needed some seeds, though. I knew that they had seeds. I didn't know how many of the seeds they had. I just knew that they had seeds and maybe I could get some. And so I hit him up, and I remember I called the dude, and one of the owners picked up, and his name was Liam. Me and him are actually pretty good friends now. And I was like, "Hey, man, like I want to." Am I speaking to the owner? And he was like, "Depends who's asking." And I was like, "This is Paul from Multiverse Beans, and I need some seeds to give away for orders, and just basically just." And this was like 2 months into this, maybe 3 months into it. So I was like super green behind the gills and didn't know shit about fuck when it came to business at all. And so I was just like, just not super transparent. Hey, I got a seed bank. I need to give away seeds so I can sell the other seeds that we have. Like, what's up? And had no idea what that even like implied or meant or anything. And he's like, yeah, totally. Gotcha. I was like, cool. Well, that was easy. And then, so I wanted to stand out from some of the other seed banks, so giving away more seeds because I really like getting extra seeds. It's whenever I was trading for seeds, some of the people would always throw in like extras typically because who doesn't have enough seeds to throw in some extras to a friend or someone, and so I always get extra seeds. I'm like, this is like fucking Christmas. Fuck yeah, this is what I want. And so I wanted to replicate that feeling to customers if they open up the package and then they get extra seeds they didn't pay for, and they're like, holy shit, I got more seeds, and I got seeds that I was expecting that came with it. And I learned that adds to the value of that's one of the services that we offer, and it's something that makes us stick out. So we had to start communicating that to the customers that we actually did that. And so we do it. We have different tiers, and we give away extra seeds depending on the tier. And so I wanted to be half of one brand and then half of another. And then so to backtrack to the story I was saying earlier, it's a pain in the ass sometimes to get in touch with some of the breeders and to receive shipments speedily, especially whenever it has been like last minute before where like, shit, I thought that we had more. And so like I need to get some sooner than later, and they were only available to do it later. So we kept Atlas doing it. I've been wanting to have my own brand for a while. And so we started Multiverse Genetics, and we're giving those out as freebies now. So it's more control. Nice. And it's more it's more simplified because there's two people that it's coming from, and it's super, super streamlined and makes it better with it. We still give out other breeders seeds. So for the 420 event that we're having, I think we're giving away around, so we've got $42,000 worth of seeds to give away. And then as far as bonus beans, we have 420,000 seeds that we're giving, dollars worth of seeds that we're giving away for people. And you just check out and then you get it. And so for those, I basically hit up all my friends. I was like, hey, I need some seeds. This is the reason why you should do it. And they were like, yeah, sure. That sounds great. Let's do it. And so because of the selection process that we have earlier of kind of just doing it with like-minded people that have similar values to what I do as far as cannabis consumption, growing, what they're in business for, et cetera, I know that they're going to have good quality stuff because they actually care. And so once that's narrowed down, it's just getting people to reply to us and receiving stuff. And then we package it up and then send it out to the masses.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. When you've sent it out to customers before, have you ever run into any legal issues or problems with post offices or seeds being seeds or crushed or anything like that?
Oh, God, yeah. USPS fucking sucks. God, they're the worst, man. I've dreamed about this several times before. So whenever I die, I'm going to have USPS lure me into my grave so they can let me down one more time. They suck. But so we haven't had any seized yet, knock on wood. We've had some crush before. Like we've had some crush like where it clearly got run over. There's no other way that could have happened without it getting run over. I don't know how that could possibly happen, but it got run over. We've had them like crush before, where like just heavy shit's been sit on it. Shit gets lost all the time. I don't have any proof of this. I just have the story of there's this one post office that we go to here in town, and we've had the same process of we print the orders and we print the order invoices and the shipping labels separately, and then we package the orders with the sequence that we have that we do in it, and we would drop off packages at this post office, and some of them, for the longest time, some just go fucking missing. They would just go missing, and I was like, it's got to be like the shipment provider that we're using is fucking something up. Like there's some kind of miscommunication with it. Like I never suspected the post office was the one that was fucking it up. And then so we ended up changing post offices, and we quit having the issue, and no other of our process changed. I was like, well, clearly they were trash. It looked like they were trashing them. I say that too because they would frequently have bad attitudes whenever I would go in. They didn't know what I had, but they were just kind of they were just lame, to be honest. They just weren't any fun. And the other post office that we switched to is great. The whole staff is just super nice and bubbly. Like I drive an extra 10 minutes out of my way to go there because the staff is just so great, and they don't lose packages.
Wow. Isn't that, it's all the post office you go to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people just get old and bitter at their jobs. What can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so many questions too. Monster G3, are you guys thinking anything in particular?
So I was actually wondering about your merchant processing.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sell merchant accounts, and I know it can be trouble to get some. They fuck you with rates and all sorts of shit. They'll just all of a sudden just close your account, take your money, and you have to fucking fight to get it back. Like there's all sorts of shit that can happen. So I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Respectfully, fuck people with suits. All of them kind of suck.
Yep.
Credit card processing was a bitch. That and banking too. We started out in Arizona, and I discovered that it wasn't kosher there. The state law said that we were criminals, and so that's a different story. But anyway, so I had to use banks that didn't know what we were doing. I was keeping it from them, and saying we were selling like merchandise and shit like that. I had probably like 6 or 7 banks accounts closed over the years of them. They always find out. Like that's they got like risk management job or underwriting. Their job is to search for stuff and see what looks weird and whatever. And so we always got caught. And I remember I went to a credit union up here in Washington State, and they have like a cannabis program. I remember I walked in, and I was like, it just felt weird. Like it felt like I was like a criminal inside of a bank. Like, I was like just being honest about everything. And they were like, yeah, no, that's cool. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, you're signed up, you're good to go. And I remember I brought like all the cash that I had from the other bank and just deposited it. And it was just, I remember I walked out, and it was like a burden has been lit like this. The biggest burden has been lifted off of me, because I was always stressed out about the bank like taking your money and stealing it, and I don't think they could actually keep it, but I know that they could tie it up for a while, which will fuck you, right? I mean, it disturbs your cash flow, and so I was always super paranoid about that. And honestly, when I first started doing this, I knew what I was doing, and I knew that I was skirting around it, and so I would just keep on taking every penny I had and buying more and more seeds, because like my thought process was, well, eventually one day I'll be able to bank with someone who will let me do what I do, and they won't care about it. And so like I just was afraid, honestly, of saving money. And so I just kept on investing it more and more into seeds, and that's not great for several reasons to do, because you can't pay your bills to keep on putting into seeds, and you can't really save for stuff you keep on putting into seeds, and just didn't have the cash management skills that I have now. I'm still trying to develop, but my money was safe because I knew that a bank couldn't take it because I actually owned the products. So went to the bank, opened up that account, and that's a weight lifted off my shoulders. And then they had a credit card processor too that they recommended, and they wanted a COA, which stands for a certificate of analysis. They wanted one for every breeder that we had, though, and I had like 80. I'm like, that's unreasonable. I'm not fucking doing that. And it was like $100 a pop for a test, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like I'll keep on doing shitty shit that I'm doing. And then so just everyone in the industry is probably like 1 degree of separation from everyone else in the industry. And so I was like, I can't be the only person that's having this fucking issue. And so I remember I called around and linked up somehow, and I found a new processor, and they got me signed up. It was an experience. I don't want to say anything bad about it, but it was an experience. Ever since then, we've had a legitimate processor ever since. it's really frustrating the rates that they charge us for this kind of thing, just because you attach cannabis to it. It's super, super frustrating. And like all the hoops and shit we got to go to. And really just honestly, the lack of empathy from the banks in general. People have told me before that I'm in it for the money. And I think that's kind of a stupid argument in general for someone to make, just because you have to have bills to pay. Businesses have expenses. Otherwise, we're just in la la land, and it just we're just playing with monopoly money. So that in itself to me is just a weak argument for someone in general. The banks are in it for the money. Like if you ever think someone's in it for the money, like go talk to someone at a bank as like a credit card processor, and they will change your opinion. But that guy's not actually in it for the money. That dude's in it for passion, but he has to do all this crap from it. Whereas like the banks are like, yep, this is a risk assessment team. We're charging you this high percent because you have a high risk. You can't sell vaporizers because they're high risk and this and that. And so those are the guys that are about it for the money. They always see it as transactional, as nothing else, and there's no soul to it. They're just doing their job.
Once it's federally legal, though, will you have guaranteed access to the banking system without any red tape like that? I mean, is that something you're anticipating, looking forward to? How do you feel?
Honestly, I've actually talked to a credit card processor about this before, and they're pretty in the know about that kind of thing. At least I got kind of the opinion. I got the energy from them that they knew what they were talking about from it, and it made sense. They're saying that. Right answer my question, I thought once this goes federal legal, it's gonna be like a different story, right? They're like, yeah, no, like banks are notorious for being conservative and slow about stuff, and so they're probably going to keep everything like the exact way that it is, because like if everyone keeps the rate high, then and it's federally legal, then everyone still pays the same rate, and there's always going to be outliers.
Cannabis tax anyway, like anything.
Exactly, it's the cannabis tax. Yeah. You say cannabis anything, and they're like, you got to pay more money for it, and it's just a way just to fuck people over, honestly. And so I don't think anything's going to change. My biggest fear, as far as the government being involved, is they make it federally illegal, and then a company's going to come in that's literally in it for the money, and then they're going to get cannabis seeds into Home Depot and Walmart, and they're going to completely crush the market because they have the capital behind it. That's one of my big fears, is that I know there always is going to be a market for people that do like artisanal type stuff like Night Owl. He's not scaled out nowhere near possible as what like a big farm was in big seeds, right? There's no way that they can make the quality that he has with it. So there's always going to be a niche for people like that are craft breeders. I don't really consider him a craft breeder because he pays his bills with it. To answer your question earlier, between how someone I differ someone from being like professional or amateur, and there's always outliers to it, is if someone can pay their bills with cannabis seeds or a professional. If they can't, they're still an amateur. There are a few amateurs that I know of that I would consider professional because they don't pay their bills with it, but they're just really fucking good. A specific example is Gnome Automatics, Dan Jimmy. That he can grow some goddamn weed. If y'all haven't tried his stuff out before, he's got Ample coming out really soon. That was going to be one that goes absolutely crazy. His blackstrap is insane. Everything that he makes is really fucking good.
Hey, people love those purples, man. So I want to bring up your website real quick.
Yeah.
Here we are. Multiverse Beans. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to just highlight how many gosh damn breeders you have available. Like, I've never seen a seed bank with so many breeders. Just saying. Literally everything. Yeah. Everything from the biggest companies you could think of, the most hype, photo periods, to like, some recent upstart autoflower guys. Like, it's truly awesome. Like, really a one-of-a-kind selection.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a bit of a burden, though. Like, because, you look at that list, and that's a lot of people to look at, and none of them really stick out amongst the others. And so we have our new website being made. It's ready to launch, but we didn't want to take a chance with having something go wrong with 420. Those websites pretty established of not being perfect, but it works. And so we're going to wait till after the 420 sale ends to launch our new website, and we're going to make it a whole lot better as far as just shoppability and stuff, so that you can sort between like top selling breeders, which will be the professional breeders, versus the more craft guys, which would be kind of the more of the amateur breeders.
Okay. See, honestly, dude, I'm feeling the democratic nature of this. You know what I mean? Just like it's
Yeah.
ain't nobody highlighted over the others. Like I said, it's just like you're giving everyone a chance, from the guy who's sorting through 10,000 plants in a field to like a guy who's making autoflower beans
Yeah.
in his closet. And if they have an audience and they have people who are going to buy the beans, and like they have a right to be in the store, it's awesome. Any way you want to do it, man, just keep on doing this thing you're doing, because it really is cool.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So what does the future of Multiverse look like?
How much time do you have?
As much time as you want to give us.
Where do we go from here, man?
The future of Multiverse. Well, honestly, I need a break. I did the math the other day. I've worked probably on average 70, 80 hours a week for the past 3 years straight. That's roughly about six years of work of like regular hours. And so I need like a week or two to relax and unwind. Once I come back, the current path of the company or project, I guess, is we're going to have a new website made, well, finished up and launched live. This is going to be a better experience. We're going to optimize a lot of the search functionality on the website so that the customers can kind of find more of what they're looking for. My 3 goals this year, or 2 goals this year, or I guess the main goal is to get better at communicating, both internally with the team and externally to everyone else with it. Whenever we were smaller and it was just me doing everything, I knew how to do everything in my head, right? And then so having to have someone else do that was a skill that I didn't know that I didn't have. I didn't know how to teach someone how to do that portion of the job. So I had to learn how to teach someone how to communicate with someone about doing something a particular kind of way, and then we have to improve on it. Just because that's just who I am. I want to be the best version of myself in all aspects of life. And so if I can make our customer service 1% better every day over the course of a year, that's going to compound into a very big percentage increase of it. And it's just doing little things like that add up. So, we want to bring on more breeders. We want to be able to run more specials and sales for people. Like I was talking to one of the breeders the other day, and he's kind of saying how they structure their sales and stuff from like a logistics standpoint. And I was like, why the fuck did I never think of that before? That makes so much sense. Like I literally felt like an idiot for not doing it his way. And I'm like, man, that's fucking cool. Well, I'm going to definitely do that. We're going to come out with some merch. I don't know when. I'm going to buy a new sticker printer though. The one that we have is doing its best. That's all I can say. But it's doing its best. I want a nicer one though. What else? I would like to eventually open up some seedbanks in Canada and in Europe. Thailand was on the list, but the Thailand government said "fuck you" to everybody, so that's not happening anytime soon for a while.
Damn.
Yeah. What else? Merch. I think that's really. Oh, and then really gonna be really focusing on multiverse genetics. I'm super excited about that. I kind of, when I first started this company, I honestly wanted to grow before, because I was growing before this started, and I was like, I want to fucking do this. This is fun as fuck. But to get a license to grow legally, like at scale in Arizona, you got to be a millionaire, and I don't come from money, unfortunately. And so what I did have access to though was a hemp license, and so I was going to go hemp to get enough money to get a cannabis license, and then go up from there. So I started Multiverse Beans, as that being kind of one of the reasons behind it. And then Multiverse Beans has got more successful than I ever imagined in my entire life. It's been super humbling. Like by all means and accounts, I shouldn't be where I am right now. I'm from South Georgia. I grew up on a dirt road. We were middle class, and the cards were stacked against me, and I made it. So it's super cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, just trying to refine the process down better, just make it run better. recently, in the past like 3 or 4 months, we've kind of discovered that we've been running on the processes of whenever we first opened 3 years ago when I was doing it by myself. And so, we're kind of making our base of the pyramid a lot wider now. We're writing down and recording how we do a lot of things. We're actually having like training for people. I kind of hate to say it, but we're becoming like more corporate, but we're still fun.
How many
I really had to say this.
people? How many people work for you?
I have 574 people that work for me.
Wow, man.
Just kidding. No, really, I have so the core people that I have are probably three. It's Cece. She just had a baby though, and she's taking a leave of absence. So the other one is CJ. He actually used to work for me in person in Arizona before I moved, and he does customer service. And then the next one's Kiefer, and he helps out with like web development and graphics, basically, and some other stuff.
Cool.
And so primary people is three. And then I have probably like 5 or 6 part-time people that help me out too. Most of them are like maybe around 10 hours a week. I have, I think, like 3 or 4 single moms that work for me. They
Hell yeah, man! You gotta support that single moms.
Man, they work fucking hard. They work really hard. Like that single mother work ethic is a real fucking thing.
1,000,000%.
Well, it's great to provide jobs, man, or however you're doing it. It's so you got aspirations of going overseas. You like, can you not sell to Canada or Thailand or Europe right now? Or can you? Are you international?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
How about now?
No, we can hear you.
Can.
Weird.
Yep.
It's not my headphones. It's
Yep.
making audio.
Hmm.
Let me see.
Oh,
It
maybe
didn't,
he's
I'm
not
gonna
receiving us.
leave real quick and rejoin.
Yep. Come right back. Come right back.
Oh,
Here,
wait,
I got
I can't, just
a new Patreon I want to shout out real quick, too.
Say something?
Something.
Hello, can you hear us?
Okay, I can hear you on my phone. That's fine. We'll rock it with
Okay,
this.
good. Work. All
All right,
Kat,
what were you
was your
saying,
question?
Captain?
I want to say thanks to Logan, new Patreon member.
Thanks,
All right,
Logan.
before that,
Thanks,
you had a
Logan.
question. Thank you, Logan. Really
Oh,
appreciate
Did I
you.
have a question? I'm way thrown off now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We I don't know. I think we learned a shit ton. I'm like I was kind of fascinated by what you do, the whole process of running a seed bank, and what it's like working with. You said 574 people. I mean, with all the breeders you work with, yeah, you kind of do have that many people working for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like herding cats, honestly. Love cats. All cats are great. It's just trying to get a cat to do something it doesn't want to do is impossible.
Ain't that the truth?
Dude, I know that for sure. It's, again, you have such a cool selection, I think, from the biggest names to the smallest guys. Like, it's super cool. You offer variety, good customer service, and it's been like that for 3 years since the start. So don't lose that as you grow and get more corporate. Just keep that community thing. We love that.
Yeah, I appreciated that, and we wouldn't be where we are without you three supporting us. It's just really humbling because there are so many different options and avenues for people to spend their hard-earned money at, and you three specifically and other people spend their money with us, and so this really is my dream. I've always wanted to be and have a business. Didn't realize I was passionate about cannabis until later into life, and this really is a dream come true, and I really do try to put my money where my mouth is. At the end of the day, money is only money, and we can always make more money. But doing the right thing, especially if we screwed up, just doing the right thing it's just the right thing to do. Like, it's just money. It's like $4.50 to send someone a package with a ground. peace of mind for that of, knowing that the customer is happy, that's worth it for me because, we're human. We make mistakes like everyone does. The thing that separates us though is that we have no problem admitting that we made a mistake, and then, we want to fix it. It's mistakes are viewed, they have a negative connotation to them, but they're not. They're actually a positive because without mistakes, you're not going to be able to learn. If you can't learn, you can't grow, you can't improve.
Well said. Yeah, very well said. So just real quick too, like, so let's say a grower bought some seeds from like a breeder from you,
Mm-hmm.
and they had issues. Do they contact you, or do you just direct them to the breeder?
Yeah, so I feel like that if we direct them to the breeder, it's kind of passing the book off to somebody else, and that to me is just not a good customer service experience because I've had that happen to me before too, where I'm like, bro, I spent my money with you. I've already contacted you about it. Like, why do I need to contact somebody else about it? Time's the most valuable resource in the world. We can never get it back, and so there's a couple breeders that we have that prefer to deal with the customers. Generally speaking, though, we deal with them directly. We replace it. There's so there's only two options for this. It's either breeders that do germination replacements and breeders that don't. And the ones that do, we replace out those seeds for you if we have germination issues. The ones that don't, we still replace the seeds for you because it's just the right thing to do. Like I know why I smoke it for. I know why a lot of other people smoke it for. It's for mental health. And so like if I can, if the breeders that stand behind their products, they don't want to do a germination replacement, then we'll send you some more seeds for you. Just because like most people are going, for so they can be happy and live their life and enjoy it. And so that's
Hell
more
yeah.
important to me than just sitting on seeds and holding them. Like I think that I'll see people, no matter if you're a bank or a breeder, everyone should guarantee your seeds, but not everyone does. And so for those of us that do, it makes us stick out more.
That's a great thing to do, man. That's really what a good customer service. It counts for a lot. Can't buy that.
Yeah.
Got to come from a real person.
Yeah, like I'm just it's honestly weird because like some people I haven't met anyone in person yet that's like recognized me yet, which would be cool, but also be weird. But I'm I guess I'm a bit of a celebrity now, which is like really weird to say, or I'm like at least internet
Yeah,
famous. And
man.
I'm just a regular dude that likes cannabis. Like I don't think there's anything like really special about me that everyone else couldn't have or don't have or whatever. I'm just a regular dude that's passionate about cannabis, that loves business, and I want to help people. And I think there's a lot of people out there like that. I think there's a lot of people that don't agree with that or don't do it through their actions. But I'm just a regular dude. I just like to smoke weed and work out and I like martial arts, and that's really about it.
Well, I think your story says you're a lot more than just a regular dude, and just hearing you talk again, like you got a lot going on. Far from regular, my friend, and really, it's an inspirational tale. It is, and yeah, I just again want to encourage our audience to go check out Multiverse Beans. A reputable seed bank, great customer service, literally anything you could think of, they probably got it. And then stuff you probably haven't ever thought of. So just spend like 5 hours browsing the whole website, getting familiar with different names and different breeders and, all that stuff. It's always fun.
I appreciate your kind of words.
Yeah, man. And I think we can announce, so you tell me, we had a coupon code that we want to offer.
Yeah, we got that going.
Audience.
Yeah, it's CC10.
Love it. That's very
Thank
generous.
you.
Very generous
Yes.
for our bean hoarding fiends out there.
Mhm.
So get them while you can, boys. Get them while you can. CC10 as usual. We have a good question in our chat. Discreet shipping, is that an option?
Of course. Actually, all of our packages are discreet. If you remind me too, I can give you a tour of the shop before we hop off. Just let me know when you're ready.
I would love to if you
But
have a few minutes.
As far as discrete shipping go, I'll go ahead and I'll show you what we have now. Everything's discrete.
Cool.
I don't want to be in any way, shape, form, or possible involved with someone that gets in trouble for ordering this. So this is what our normal stuff comes in. It's just a boring, plain bubble envelope.
Good.
Just looks boring. And then we also offer stealth shipping, where you put it inside of a box and then put that inside of a bubble container too. Um, I've had some people say they don't really see the value of the stealth shipping. I mean, I've it's $5 for stealth. Like most of the other seed banks charge like 20 or 25. Like I spend a lot of money on drugs, have nothing to show for it. So like $5 for peace of mind is like a pretty good amount of money to use for peace of mind.
Truth. Now it is totally legal to ship seeds, but it is also kind of like I don't know. It's just like what you see so many of these. What else is in this? Like, what do you send in this other than exotic bird seed?
Everything. You send everything in those.
I know, right? Ask a mailman; he'll tell you. I don't know, fucking whatever you want. So I don't know. Yeah, discreet shipping is a good thing to offer. I don't think I ever.
That's what I use for the Patreon beans.
Hell yeah, dude! It's the good old Manila envelope.
Yeah, 9x6.
When they show up on my doorstep, I'm always like, "Do my neighbors know? Do they know what's in here?"
They could be handmade jewelry from Etsy or notebooks from Amazon or something.
No one orders that stuff. Everyone's just ordering weed seeds. Lots of them.
Takes one to know one.
Multiverse beans.
In that case.
Well, so, yeah, this was awesome. Did you have like more of a tour you wanted to show us?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I can flip my camera.
Oh, there we go.
That's not the right button. I can't flip it. All right, we're just gonna have to go through the chest. So it's before 420, so it's a hot mess right now. So right here, we have some stickers that we're trying to process for 420. These are going on the black miler bags that we can identify. In the back here, this is a sticker printing machine. Commercial.
Cool.
Like that. Back here in the back here, we have some extra back stock that we're slowly processing through. It's just a shit ton of seeds, man. It's just a bunch of seeds.
It looks like where I keep mine.
Back here, we've got more. There's more seeds that we have. That's like basically kind of like an overflow type bit. And then that's all the office boring stuff. This is the money shot. This is what y'all have been waiting for.
All right.
So this is the first of it. This is Ethos and Titan. And then all the way down there to the very, very end of seeds.
Wow, dude, that is so many seeds. Like I kind of think the organizational thing is awesome.
Do you have any seed packagings that are really obnoxiously shaped that's hard to organize?
They like don't fit in there.
Honestly, it's most of the breeders kind of keep it. They keep it honestly pretty small. I don't think we have anyone. I don't think anyone's got really obnoxiously big ones. And then this is the final one over here. So
holy crap! Are you using the Dewey Decimal System?
Close. We're using the Paul Law system of an abridged SKU version because I didn't know how to do a fucking SKU system until recently. So we've got like the number here on it. That's the number of the shelf, and then we got the columns and the rows labeled for it, so we can try to find it a little bit faster.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no one really has obnoxious packaging. Yeah, no one has obnoxious packaging. It's all pretty uniform. That's actually one thing that I've noticed, and there's a reason behind it. If a lot of people just play it safe. They don't really venture outside. Like, did you notice that most of these are miler bags or like pieces of cardboard? And that's really about it. No one really can. You can't. And honestly, you kind of have a hard time venturing outside of it too, because the Mylar bag, it keeps the seeds safe. Like it keeps the humidity out. It keeps the temperature regulated better. There's a bunch of really good reasons why to have the Mylar bag for it. So that kind of limits it. There's a lot of guys now that are doing the die cut Mylar bags that look really cool. We're doing that as well. We have some die cut ones. Night Owl kind of made that famous with his die cut. I think he was probably the first one that I picked up on that was doing it. I'm sure someone else done it before him, but I don't know who they are personally. So yeah, they I would say the guys that are obnoxious, I just thought about it. The guys that ship it in with glass containers, the glass seed vials instead of the plastic ones, and that really wouldn't be an issue if USPS didn't like rock bottom every package that we give them, because they get broken all the time. So like it's a problem because of somebody else. It's not really their problem. I think it's cooler to do it that way, but USPS just really abuses his packages, man. It's like a really weird, relationship to have with them.
That's a great question, guy. Grow. You're gonna ask him about that
once? One? Did you call her a him once?
What? Oh yes, my first package ever from Multiverse. I was misgendered. I was a little irritated about that one, but I got over it because in the next one he sent me a Chun-Li sticker as a witch, so I was good with it.
What did it say?
It was just like, "Hey man, if you have some time, leave us say something about something."
Hey,
I was
man.
like, "I am not a man."
we actually had that for a few people, because there was a while I was using like man and dude to me is kind of the same thing. It's like a gender neutral term, and then we said it, and like more and more women got aggravated by it, and I was like, "Well, clearly, like I'm the problem here, so I'll change the verbiage, to just because it's just if it does bother someone, like I do generally like don't mean to bother someone by it, so we changed the verbiage, so now we use like hey friend or hey their first name whatever with it. But yeah, it's I guess refreshing hearing that, because it does show kind of what we used to do and how we've kind of grown into what we are now.
Well, I can tell you as a female grower, I very much appreciate the change. So thank you.
I love that feedback.
Hey man, I've gotten caught in my DMs so many times. I've just started saying like, "Hey there," "Hey there," just, "Hey you," "Hello
hey,
human,"
you face.
"Fellow human, how are you doing?"
Hey you with the tits.
Monster.
Jeez, monster.
He's still there. He's still there, of course. We love you guys. We love you. So I don't know if I ever got an answer to the international shipping question, and I did want to say
that was the question. There
what's
you go.
up to Germany? We see you. I know it just got legalized for you guys. Congrats.
Yeah, we do international shipping.
Cool. Very cool.
It is with the asterisk though of it is at your own risk. It is at your own risk. Everyone knows what's going on with it.
Yep.
I don't want to say too much about it, but yeah, just just know what you're getting yourself into. So with that being said, like it's different than doing domestic packages. Because domestically, we guarantee the packages to get to you. All of the, not I won't say all, quite a few of the other major seed banks charge you extra for shipping insurance. We used to do that, and one of the customers was like, "This is kind of shitty because it's not like we should have to pay for it to get our package." I'm like, that's a fair point. So we removed the shipping insurance option. And I'm just like, we'll just do it as a blanket. Like it's the right thing to do. So if a package doesn't make it, there's a process behind what we got to do to verify they didn't make it, because unfortunately people will take advantage of the system and say they didn't receive the package when they did. So we got to do our due diligence on our end to make sure that we're not getting taken advantage of. But yeah, domestically we guarantee all packages. We will ship internationally to you with some caveats with it, which if you place the order, we can go over that with you through email.
Cool. Yeah. Listen to that. It's like we've come to a natural conclusion. You can hear
Had a good time too.
Yeah, right? I think we all learned what it's like to operate, a grassroots, built from the ground up seed company, a wholesaler, if you will, in the community. What it's like to work with 574 different breeders. I mean, really. That's incredible. Like so if you had to give just one, like let's say a new person out there, you got auto recommendation, photo recommendation. Where are you pointing them to?
I will shamelessly plug myself, Multiverse Genetics. We got some pretty cool stuff with it.
All right.
Something unique about Multiverse Genetics is that we have a 100% money satisfaction guarantee. If you buy Multiverse Genetics from us and you're not satisfied with it from 10 years from now, 1 month from now, whatever, if you grow it out, you don't like it, I don't even care what the reason is. I don't need to know the reason. If you're not satisfied with it, we will either send you your money back for it in the form of we can give you like a gift card for it, and you can use it on what other kind of seeds you want of any other breeder. There's no one else in the industry that's able to do that in this position because I have a seed bank and a genetic company. So, for example, if you buy like our Comet Candy and you don't like it, then we'll give you $50 store credit to use on any other breeder that we have that fits you. And so that's because I actually care. I know that my shit's good, and I know that you're going to love it. And I know there's going to be like 2 people out of a million that's going to actually take us up on that. Specifically for my brand, I would recommend Photo Period. I would probably say Black Coal Breath. It's a really good washer. It's stinky. And then for Auto Flower,
Love those.
I would probably say Star Fruits is really good. It just gets fucking big, man. It's big and it's fruity. It's really, really
Yeah.
good.
I got
As
autos
far
too.
as not my brand, people that I'd recommend, I'm gonna shout out to Atlas Seed. Atlas Seed does phenomenally huge phenom hunts as well. They've really, really, really dialed in the process of how they grow seeds so that they're really consistent. They start off growing seeds for commercial farmers where there's not a whole lot of margins in commercial farming, unfortunately. And they made it for them, honestly, to start off with. And then they started transition in the home grower market to where if you have really good seeds commercially, they're of course going to be great for the home grower. They just got really good stuff altogether. That's why we give out their stuff in the orders for. One of the new strains is called Pilot Light. That's an auto flower. That one's supposed to be really gassy. We're having a grow off of that on our Facebook group. And then for Photo Period, they've got so much good shit, man. I would probably say their Purple Punch in general is really good. It's really, really purple. It's beautiful. It's got really great terps. And they've got quite a few purple strains in general. I personally like the purple stuff, or just I wouldn't put bag appeal over like some of the other qualifying factors for smoking weed, but bag appeal to me is really, really important. I want it to I like the art side of it looking really cool and everything. So having cool looking strains for me is important, but like that's also one of the last things that I'm going to look for. And actually trying to smoke weed, I want to have something that's got good terps, and just smoke smoothly. Like I would pick, you know, something that looks like cardboard, but is like a dessert versus something that looks like the Mona Lisa but tastes like cardboard.
Said like a true stoner, someone who a connoisseur, someone who knows, been there before,
Yeah.
once or twice or a couple thousand times. Well, again, I want to thank you so much for your time, and I want to tell everyone, check out Multiverse Beans. Learn about a bunch of different breeders you probably never heard of. Peruse your favorite breeders. Use our new code CC10. Get yourself some new beans. I mean, satisfy your urge, man. What can I say?
Basically guaranteed to find something you like.
Yeah. Like,
If you don't know what you're getting, you can email us and we can help you out with a recommendation that's unique to your situation. We also have these Uncle Paulie's secret stash. I basically hit up some of my friends. I'm like, hey, like we need some. The hardest part for me for choosing seeds was just having to choose the seeds, man. There's like 10 million different choices to choose from, and it's overwhelming. And like all of the seeds are right, but they're also wrong. And so I would Tony Stark it and deep dive every single seed and strain to make sure that it was something that I wanted. And it's a pain in the ass. Like it's a lot of work. And so I just put together some seeds that are no matter what they're going to grow really good because they're from good breeders. So if you want to take the research part out of it and actually spend that time out learning how to grow weed instead of researching about the seeds to see if it'd be a good fit for you, I would highly recommend that. But if that's not what you're looking for, like I said, we're more than happy to give you a custom recommendation of it. Just tell us what you're looking for, and we can find something for you that will make you happy.
Right on. Cool, man. Well, and for everyone out there, listen, we have a Discord. Paul, I'll send you a link to it if you want to hop on in. I don't know if you're on Discord, but
Yeah.
our community is 24/7, like a chat room, like you remember from the AOL days. Post pictures, just talk current events, whatever you want. And yeah, our German friend in the chat, join us on our Discord. Find me on IG. I'll send you a link if you don't have it. Tell your other German friends about the show. We want you guys on board with what we're doing. So, and yeah, thank you everyone who joined us. Thank you to you guys too, G3, Monster,
And
Paul,
to you, Cap. Thank you.
our new bean boss,
Mm-hmm.
the bonus bean boss.
Yes,
me.
it was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank
Truly,
you guys. I really
man.
appreciate it.
Truly, you're a real community guy, I can tell, and that's like, we love that. So, right on. Well, yeah, guys. Until next time, y'all know the rules. Have fun, keep growing, and
Don't get caught.
thank you. I knew someone knew what I was gonna say. Later, guys.